Hey, what's up from my kitchen? I am here getting my sweet potatoes ready for the freeze dryer. I just got a bag of sweet potatoes at Costco, and let me tell you my plan for how I'm gonna freeze dry them. I'm gonna get the potatoes all washed up. I'm gonna roughly peel them, cut off any weird looking things, and then I am going to dice them into small cubes. My favorite way to eat sweet potatoes is in cubes and roasted in the oven. And so I want to preserve these in a way that will be easy for me to rehydrate and then roast them. That's the plan. I am gonna do one tray of making like these little sweet potato chips. I haven't tried this, but I'm gonna slice them really thin and then blanch them for a few minutes in boiling water, stick them on the freeze dryer tray and see if they turn out kind of like chips. I thought that sounded really good. And my cubes, when I cube them up, I'm gonna blanch them in water too. I'm gonna boil them for like 5 minutes. They say with freeze drying potatoes, it's best to blanch them first. So that's what I'm doing. Hope it turns out. I am using my vegetable chopper. I've got a little square grid in there, and that's just gonna give me uniform little potato bites. You just need to cut your potatoes the thickness that you want. You stick it on the little grid here, and then snap it down. It takes some muscle and is very loud, but it's efficient and very sharp. I just cut myself because of course that's what I do. These are awesome. They just like turn out perfect little cubes and it's so nice. If you don't have a chopper like this, I will link one in my video description below from Amazon. It's really worth it when you don't want to have to sit there and dice up everything. It gives you nice uniform little cubes and is great. So I just chopped the fries by hand. I've got my cubes in my boiling pot of salted water. I'm gonna get those out, get these in, and we gotta do the chips still. Do we remember this cheese grater that I got on Amazon? I really liked it. I am going to try to do my sweet potato slices with this. Okay, let's see. I think I need to cut these smaller. But it's starting to kind of work. Okay. Well, they're not the prettiest things in the world, but they'll do for our experiment. If you want these nice, beautiful chips, just cut them yourself, unless you got a better way. But it was quick. And my little cheese grater cut through potatoes just fine. So that's kind of a win. I'm just gonna finish boiling my potatoes and then we will get them onto our freeze dryer trays. All right, here are my 2 trays of cubes, my 1 tray of fries. And these are what are gonna be my chips. I made sure they were fully cooked because we're just gonna be eating these straight out of the freeze dryer. So we don't want to be eating raw potatoes. I am going to spread these out here on my tray and I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning. I am just going to hit them with some salt, a little sprinkle of garlic powder, and a dash of my freeze-dried onion powder. Those all look so good. Super stoked about this. I really hope the chips turn out. I've never done this before, so this is another experiment here at DIY Freeze Dry. I'm all about trying new things. I am going to take you down to the freeze dryer, show you our settings we're gonna use, and get these loaded up. I did not pre-freeze, clearly, so this is gonna be, I'm sure, a decent amount of time in the freeze dryer. Here's all of our sweet potatoes at my freeze dryer. I'm gonna go into customize. I just hit reset to go to standard settings. And all I'm going to do is increase my dry time. I always just give me an extra buffer in case it ends in the middle of the night or something. Then it'll just keep drying until I am ready to get it out of the dryer. It is getting cold here in Alaska. We reached below freezing the last 2 nights in a row. So we have a lot of ice like on our grass where it was puddled and never dried out. It just turned to ice. Our trampoline's got puddles of ice on it. So now we are just trying to do all the winterizing chores around the house. We had to unhook all of the hoses. We got all the leaves raked up. What else? We got to take our trampoline down because the snow will just pile on top of the mat and ruin it. What else? We got all of our like lawn equipment put away in the shed for the winter. My husband's moving around his motorcycles because that's what his favorite hobby is, dirt bikes. Moving those out of his way so that he can park his car in the garage, because it is no fun to park your car in the driveway in Alaska. A lot of people do, but I'm just a princess and too cold, so I like to have my car in the garage, and my husband will get his car in the garage this year too. I'm curious if it's cooling down where you live. Are you guys in fall weather yet? My family back in Arizona is like in the 90s, and they're like so happy that they're not in the 100s and 110s because they had that like all summer. My sister in Texas, I think she said was in the 90s yesterday, so they're still dealing with a lot of heat in Texas. How about where you live? Are you cold like we are here in Alaska? Or are you still getting beautiful fall weather? I would love to know. These guys are freezing. I will keep you updated on how long they take, and we will show you how to reconstitute these and see how they turn out if they come back to life like normal. I'm super excited about these. Especially, I can't wait to try the chips. I hope those turn out good. It could be a fun little healthy way of having chips without having to fry it in that nasty oil. If these turn out, they will be awesome. Hey everyone, it is the next day. I think our sweet potatoes are done. Off camera, I did the weigh test. I pulled out a tray, weighed it. I weighed in at 939 grams. So now I am going to take out that same tray, reweigh it. If the grams are about the same, then I know the freeze dryer has removed the moisture. If it is changing still, then it needs more time because that means moisture is still being pulled out of these potatoes. Okay, I was at 935 grams, so it did lose 4 grams of moisture in the last hour or so that I had this running. It is still pulling moisture out of the food. It has been in my freeze dryer for 31 hours. I would think it's maybe okay, but I want to be sure that these are completely dried so that they can remain nice and shelf stable in my Mylar bags. So it is the end of the evening. I think I'm just gonna let it go overnight. I really don't want to stay up super late and pull these out of the freeze dryer tonight. So I am making the decision to just let this go overnight. So it's gonna go for another like 10 or 12 hours or so. It doesn't hurt your food to prolong the drying process. It's just gonna keep it dry, and then I will bag it up in the morning, and then we will have time to do are reconstituting and testing it out to see if they come back to life. So I will show you my screen here. You'll hear the beeping. That just is the alert to let you know you need to do something. So I'm going to select more dry time. We got to close our drain valve. Continue. And I am just going to kick this up to 12 hours. Okay, so this is just gonna keep running tonight. We will come back in the morning and get to work. I'm excited. I hope they turn out great. I'm sure they will. I don't remember if I mentioned that if you want to buy a freeze dryer, right now Harvest Right is still running their fall promotion where they are giving, I think it's $300 off of the new Harvest Right Pro freeze dryer. Check out my affiliate link in the video description below. If you order through my link, I will send you one of my cute, I freeze dry that magnets and some other little goodies. You got to email me that you did that, and the instructions and all of that are in the video description below. So check that out, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hello, it is the next morning. Let's finally get these sweet potatoes out of the freeze dryer. They're definitely done by now. These look so good. Here are my little cubes. We've got our French fries and our chips that literally feel like a chip. I am super excited to try those. So for packaging, I am going to be using Mylar bags. I am going to do one batch of my cubes in a mason jar because those are going to be the ones that I'm going to test out reconstituting and cooking. I'm going to do the fries in a Mylar bag. And the chips I'm going to toss in a mason jar also because we're just going to snack on those if they taste good. So let's get these packaged up and then we will move on. Okay, so here's everything I did. The fries did not fit in this size bag, so I moved up to my jumbo sized bag, but there's still a lot of space not being used that I don't want all the extra oxygen and stuff in this bag. So I'm gonna do this on my heat sealer. I'm just gonna heat seal it right here. Since this does have a zip top, but I'm not concerned about having to use the zip top, I am going to just heat seal it to make my bag smaller. I did throw in my oxygen absorbers. Oxygen absorbers are in here. I'm gonna heat seal it. I've got my cubes to test out cooking later today. We've got our chips that we are going to do a taste test with some kids and myself later today also. We're gonna have to wait to try these until later. I want a whole group of people's reaction to see if we like the sweet potato chips. So here's my sweet potato bag. I just labeled it, put the date, so we know how long we've had this on our food storage shelves. These are the fries. These are the cubes. Let's go stick these in my food storage. Here's my food storage cabinet. I did get some bins to help organize the kind of chaos that was in here. I still want to label it. I was hoping my bins would fit 3 across, and they don't. They only fit 2. So I just want to find a smaller size bin that I can still put next to here. Where am I gonna put these? I think I have my veggies. No. Okay, veggies are on this shelf, so I'm thinking these guys are gonna go on my second shelf. They're just gonna go here in the extra space until I get another bin to stick them in. But I like to have my food storage semi-organized. I just need to get some labels. So I've got fruits up top. This guy is empty. I've got veggies here. This is mostly cheese and some other veggies. And down here are my meats and my meals. Right here is all of my meat. These are my MRE ready to eat meals. And over here, I just have some of my food storage that's stored in mason jars. These are powdered eggs. I've got some powdered kale. And I think that's about it. If you got any questions on how to store your freeze-dried food, hit me up in the comments. Happy to help. Although clearly I'm no expert, but I just like to have some type of organization so that it doesn't look like chaos when you open the cabinet and you kind of know where to find what you are looking for. So now we can head upstairs. I think at lunchtime we will test out our sweet potato chips. All right, we got Wesley here. He's gonna be our first taster of the homemade chips.
Look at my food.
And he's got his lunch. Sounds crunchy.
Good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Good boy. Okay, I'm gonna try the chip now. Mmm. I really like that. It's so good with the seasonings added to it, so definitely add the seasonings before you freeze dry them. I literally could eat that just like I would a bag of chips. And they weren't fried, they weren't banked in any oil or anything, they just were boiled and freeze dried. These are so good. I think they're gonna be a new go-to snack for us. Definitely gotta try them. I also had someone say, try it with cinnamon. And like how you would make it more on the sweeter side, that would be a tasty treat also. All right, Bria's gonna try the homemade chip. Seriously?
Yeah.
All right, Lincoln, try the chip.
Ooh, yeah.
That looked like a fake answer. You don't like it? Me and Wesley like them, and Dad. Hey, it is a couple of days later. I am up in my kitchen and ready to try our diced up sweet potatoes. I wanted to show you our chip jar is already basically empty. We loved these. We've been eating them over the last day or two. Totally recommend. My husband and I absolutely love them. The kids were a little iffy. Wesley loved them, but the rest didn't really like them. They just have kids' palates, but definitely a win. Try these. And let me show you what I've done on the potatoes. I have just submerged them in warm water. I filled water all the way to the top of my jar, and I am letting them sit for about 20 minutes or so to reconstitute and get the moisture back in them. And then I'm going to cook them up on a frying pan, just kind of how I would like breakfast potatoes. And we are gonna test them out and see how they taste. It's been a very gloomy weekend here in Alaska. We've been just surrounded by fog and a bit of rain. And it's just been kind of a bummer. It isn't too cold yet, so I mean, that's a good thing. Snow keeps showing up in the forecast, but then when we check it later, it keeps getting pushed back. So far, no snow on the ground here in Alaska, well, where we live. And I'm hoping it stays that way a little bit longer. This weekend, we have some fun Halloween activities that would be nice if it does not snow for. But if so, we just make do, because that's what Alaskans do. Rain, snow, or shine, they go outside and do all the things. So I'm trying to become a true Alaskan and just going with the flow. But obviously it's much more pleasant if it's nice and dry. At the end of the video, I'll take you guys outside and see. I don't know if it's still foggy out or not. It looks a little. And just give you a little update on the beautiful Alaskan fall that is quickly coming to an end. I have my cubes straining in the sink, but you can tell they're done. They are just like squishy and back to normal. So now I'm just going to fry them up in my pan, just in some avocado oil with some spices. See if we can get them a little more cooked, because if you remember, we only blanched them, so they do still need more cooking time. Hopefully we can get them a little bit crispy and see how good they are. Okay, they are all finished. I put some on a plate for myself. We're gonna have this as a side dish for dinner tonight, but I've gotta have an appetizer to see if they taste good. They cooked for probably about 20 minutes. I just kept stirring them around to get them nice and crispy. Let's give them a taste. So good. Perfect. You would never know that these were previously freeze dried. There is no crunch in the middle that sometimes happen if your food hasn't fully rehydrated. These fully rehydrated, came back perfectly. This is such an awesome thing to have in your food storage. You can have fresh potatoes anytime. Super stoked about these. If you are a gardener and are currently pulling potatoes out of your garden, freeze drying is the way to go so you can have them last for a very long time. Potatoes are actually something that grow really well in Alaska. So I'm hoping next year I will be able to plant some. Once we get a garden up and running, I think that would be something super fun to plant and have. And then I can preserve them. I think that sounds so fun. Well, hello, spider. That thing is on a motion sensor, and like all throughout the night it keeps going off. So this thing is getting unplugged. Someone turned it to face the door, I think to probably try and scare me. The poor UPS driver delivered a package and then I heard the spider go off. I don't have cameras, so I don't know if the driver was scared, but I felt kind of bad. Here's how it's looking outside today. It is much clearer right now than it has been. Like the last 2 days, you could not see the mountain over there. It was just completely fogged. You couldn't even see like across the street. It was so foggy. But look, way out in the distance, I even see some clear sky. I mean, maybe that'll come over here. That would be great. Because I'm a little sick of the gloom, but that's all right. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. Happy to chat with you there. If you are ready to purchase a freeze dryer, check out my affiliate link in the video description below. It will take you to the Harvest Right website and show you the deals that they're running right now and everything that Harvest Right has to offer. Thanks for the support. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more freeze drying ideas and adventures. It is so much fun. And I will catch you guys next time. See you later.